Jose Canseco, one half of the infamous Bash Brothers with Mark McGwire. Jose was known for his moonshot home runs and exposing the MLB for its rampant steroid use in his book Juiced. I recently saw that Jose fought Billy Football in Rough and Rowdy and wondered why in the world is he in these amateur boxing matches? And then DJ Vlad released an interview with Jose where Jose said this.
I went through some really hard times. When I wrote the book Juiced, I made millions, invested that money in a property and lost that. But after that, there was a period of time where no one would talk to me at all. No one would deal with me, no one would hire me. And financially, I was strapped. So I ended up living for about 6 months in a garage.
And I immediately knew what my next video would be on. In the videos where I react to GQ Sports, how I spent my first $1 million, I get a lot of comments about the young athlete is about to get paid and that he doesn't have to worry about money because he's about to make $50 million.
Up to that point, how much money had you made in baseball?
I think the amount we come up with was about $55 million.
Jose Canseco made an estimated $55 million from baseball. Do you know how much money this is? In 1990, he signed a record contract for $23.5 million. In today's dollars, that's $47.6 million. Think of how much money that is. And this dude was living in a garage after his playing days with $20 to his name. And just a few years later, he's fighting a Barstool Sports employee in an amateur boxing match to make some money. I can tell by the comments in my other videos that fans just don't understand how easy it is for athletes to spend money you wouldn't believe. These guys go broke, man. $55 million, and he hasn't played in 20 years. If he just put his money in the stock market and didn't touch it, he'd be worth well over $100 million by now. How did we get here?
What about Dogecoin?
Are you in on it?
No.
Why?
Because I don't like any type of investments. I don't like the stock
that's
market.
true. Yeah. Yep.
I don't like anything like that. No.
Okay.
I wonder how we got here. Don't you think maybe life would be a little better if you had invested your money and didn't have to worry about making any money after you earned $55 million from your playing days? The goal of earning money in excess of what you need is to invest all of it so that you will live a comfortable life. When you're able to hit the lottery and earn money orders of magnitude more than what you need, the point is to invest it first so that you can live off your returns. When you make $55 million, you can still live a lavish lifestyle just off the returns.
It's kind of like feast or famine. So the minor leagues, it's famine. Major leagues, you feast. There's no in between. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It seems that fewer professional baseball players have financial troubles after retirement than other sports, and I think the reason is because they have to spend years in the minors earning nothing before making it big.
And then I was drafted to the minor leagues, and as a young kid, I think I was still 17, I decided to try out the minor leagues. I got a $10,000 signing bonus, which back then for me that was amazing. I bought my first car with it.
A $10,000 signing bonus is nothing, and it was already gone by the time it hit his bank account. I interned for the Birmingham Barons in 2013 and spent time around the players. All the guys who didn't have a big draft signing bonus had jobs in the offseason to get by.
At that point, you signed a new deal, and you got a 5-year, $23.5 million contract.
Peanuts compared to today, huh?
Well, yeah, compared to today, but at the time, it was the highest contract in MLB history.
Right.
He said peanuts compared to today because the top guys in the MLB are earning $25 million per year. There's 8 current players who signed for more than $300 million. Imagine all the juice Jose could have bought with $300 million.
I paid off my father's house. I bought some family members' houses and cars. I took care of them. What did I buy? I bought a house. I think I bought a car, a couple cars.
Although Jose played in Texas for a couple years, he predominantly played in expensive markets: Oakland, New York, Boston, and Toronto. Not only do athletes pay roughly 37% in federal income taxes, they get taxed at the highest state income level, but they also have a few additional taxes that they have to pay out. On top of paying roughly 50% for taxes, agent, rubbers, and gift baskets for your one-night stands, these guys are also paying high property taxes on their mansions and high sales taxes on all of their consumption.
Right.
And, when all of a sudden you've got more friends and family that you know.
This is one of the problems lottery winners face. I group athletes in that same category. Their salary is public info, so everyone knows Jose signed for $23.5 million. I think a lot of people look at athletes and think they no longer have any problems because they have all the money in the world, but they face some new problems that we aren't really equipped to handle. Imagine living a life where every new person you meet, you have to question if they want to be with you because of your money or because they're a genuine friend. Every girl you go on a date with, every cousin, every family reunion, every time your uncle pulls you aside to talk to you, every time you're at a party and get introduced to someone. And they'll trash you behind your back if you don't give them money. Money changes interpersonal dynamics more than an Instagram influencer visiting the plastic surgeon.
So you're helping out friends and family and cousins and so forth. I mean, you want to make sure that everyone is comfortable.
This is a major fallacy that athletes and entertainers have, the concept of making people comfortable by buying them consumer items or depreciating assets. The only true way to provide comfort to your family is having a large enough investment portfolio such that your yearly super conservative dividends or withdrawal can easily cover all of your family's living expenses. That is comfort. Give an idiot $50,000 and see how comfortable he is a year from today. He'll be comfortable, all right. He'll be comfortable coming back to you asking for more money since you've already given him money once.
And I was never a type of guy that was really into money that much. I was never that guy. So, it was great to have that kind of money. I just love to play baseball.
This is an example of why you typically should always analyze people's behavior and not their words. You don't blow through $55 million without being into money. I don't even know what that means. If you weren't into money, wouldn't you just be Graham Stephan and spend 20 cents on coffee and invest the rest? Also, this is a perfect example of why athletes need money managers behind the scenes. Athletes need to focus on their sport and let people who do like money help them preserve their money so they don't have to embarrass themselves in a boxing ring at 56 years old.
Oh yeah, at this point, steroids are pretty much kicking. I think at this point, steroids are at their peak of actual use. I think at this point, at the peak of actual use is probably 80%, 85% of the league was using it.
I want to know what the testing routine was. When I played in college, we had random drug tests administered by the NCAA, and it was weird. They were in the bathroom with you, right behind you when you were at the urinal, making sure you didn't do anything to alter the test. I wonder if the MLB testers during that era have neck issues from turning their cheeks so frequently at all of the failed tests.
I had several parties because my house at that time was on 4 acres, was 22,000 square feet. And I had a waterfall lagoon pool. It was called the Resort. It was so big, the house, that you can get lost in it.
I say don't spend your money, but then I hear about a mansion with a pool where you can throw parties, and then I'm like, how much does it cost? 22,000 square feet would make for some pretty cool YouTube videos.
I spent $140,000 of my money with experts that had to basically prove this in court after I spent 4 months in jail already.
Jose was talking about something to do with fighting a PED charge and proving that he didn't have them in his system. $140,000. These are the little expenses that add up when you're rich. When you're making 50 grand a year, it's hard to understand how these guys can go broke so quickly. But when you do get a chance to hear their stories, you realize how many expenses they have that you wouldn't even think about. For this case, he had to earn $280,000 to pay $140,000 of after-tax dollars to the lawyers and whomever.
How does it feel to be Jose Canseco, two-time World Series champion, all these other awards, everyone knows you, you're bigger than baseball, and here you are in jail in a dirty cage eating food with a bunch of criminals around you?
Well, people don't know this, but after that time, I had a really bad time. I actually had $20 in my pocket and lived in a garage for about 6 months.
Earned $55 million and then had to live in a garage for 6 months with $20 in his bank account. This is why I find it comical when people comment that athletes should live a little and not invest their money like I recommend. Well, this is the result. When you live a rockstar lifestyle in your 20s, you enjoy all of the hedonistic allures that life has to offer. But by the time your 30s comes around, you start to pay for the pleasure. Divorces, child support, foreclosures, lawyers, car repossession, and by the time you're 40, you're living in a garage wondering where the money went. You have to ask yourself, is the lifestyle worth it? Because the numbers still show that a majority of athletes are going to have financial trouble after their playing days. Invest first and live off the returns, and you'll own a house with 10 garages instead of living in one.
You got to start with taxes right away, 40%.
Okay.
You got to start with divorces that are $7 million. Bad investments, family, friends. It can go pretty quickly if you're not really interested of where it's going. Stock market, I lost 11 million when it crashed. So yeah, I can tell you where every cent went.
Someone please give me one reason why athletes should be getting married. Just one good reason so I can understand. An athlete getting married during his playing days is basically a lock to get divorced based on the data I've seen. Jose had 2 divorces that cost him at least $10 million. Think about this. An athlete that made $50 million only sees $25 million after taxes, agent, etc. If they get divorced once, that athlete is probably down to maybe $10 million after the divorce, lawyers, and living expenses for a few years during the marriage. When it's all said and done, athletes are only left with maybe 15% of the money you see in their contracts. And that money is supposed to last them another 60 years because they retire so young. It's hard to fully grasp the concept of losing $50 million, but when you break down the numbers, it becomes pretty easy to do. The financial advisors of these athletes shouldn't let these guys go to the bathroom before investing all of their first contract money.
Well, in 2008, you had actually revealed that your house in Encino got foreclosed on. And you said that it was 2 divorces that actually caused it, $7 million. Each of those cost you between $7 and $8 million.
One did for sure, yes.
How much fun would you need to have in your 20s and early 30s to be a former athlete dealing with foreclosure? Because there's no amount of fun that is worth losing your house a few years later. If Jose would have invested half of his take-home pay in the stock market and held and not sold like he did, he would easily be making $50K per month from dividends in 2021. He could buy this house for $2.5 million here in Vegas, and it would only cost him $10K per month. He would only have $40K per month in spending money left over.
Now, why did you, former, baseball superstar decide to get in the ring?
$50,000. I needed the money. I was going through a very hard time.
I'm thankful for this DJ Vlad interview and for Jose being so honest about his troubles. It's sad, honestly. He's having to take fights for $50,000 just to pay his bills at 56 years old. It's too common in athletes and nothing's going to change. The factors that make these guys go broke aren't going away. Hope you enjoyed the video. One final thank you to DJ Vlad and Jose Canseco for the interview. Thanks for watching.
Evidenced by the fact that he charged his fans $2,500 a day to spend time with him at his home when he was under house arrest for parole violation.